Giethoorn is a peaceful village in the province Overijssel that is often referred to as the Little Venice of the Netherlands because of its striking similarity with the well-known Italian city of Venice in terms of its canals. Due to its numerous waterways and absence of roads and cars, Giethoorn has beautiful canals, picturesque wooden bridges, and farmhouses with centuries-old thatched roofs. Altogether, it gives a unique fairy tale vibe. Giethoorn has a population of only about 2,800 people. Like many other places in the Netherlands, farming and agriculture are a major part of the local economy. But Giethoorn's main industry is tourism these days. While it's not near much else, the town receives about 1 million tourists per year that come to see the canals and the famous car-free village. The Giethoorn village was founded in the 13th century and was primarily occupied by a farming community. These farmers, while farming on their fields, unearthed large quantities of goat horns buried underneath the ground in the region. These horns were estimated to have belonged to the wild goats that were drowned in the flood of 1170. The village then received its name, Giethoorn, referring to the goat horns discovered here. The name was finally shortened to its present form of Giethoorn. It was also this time when the water continually defined the history and landscape of the village. Lakes around the town, and the peat diggers dug ditches and canals, which resulted in the structure of the village. The village's tourism potential came to notice after 1958, when the Dutch filmmaker Bert Heenstra shot his popular comedy, Fanfare, in this same village. The Giethoorn village is extremely picturesque, with 4 miles of canals and 50 short wooden bridges spanning the canals. The canals of the region actually represent pits dug by the villagers to extract peat and, in the long run, accumulated rainwater to form numerous shallow lakes and ponds. But the boats here are very different. Oars, motorboats, boats, kayaks, gasoline and diesel fuel banned in Giethoorn, whisper boats, a form of uniquely designed boats which run on electricity, quietly ply upon the canals of Giethoorn, and do not create any form of noise pollution in the village. The village is occupied by a small population of around 2,620 inhabitants. There are nearly 200 little bridges scattered across town, most for the sole purpose of providing walking access to individual homes from the main road or footpath. Human-powered punts, canoes, and kayaks also skim across the waters of Giethoorn's many canals. Shops and restaurants along the village's canals all have their own docks, for boaters to anchor their boats while they enjoy a sumptuous meal or splurge in shopping for local goods. Tourists can enjoy a number of activities in the Giethoorn village. Kayaking or canoeing around the peaceful village, seemingly always surrounded by greenery and unique architecture, is extremely relaxing. Interesting shops selling fossils and crystals, a museum on scuba diving, and several restaurants serving regional delicacies in picturesque settings are all major tourist attractions in the village. Unsurprisingly, the canals here are a huge draw. Most tourists come with the intention of going for a sail. After all, it's the most scenic way to soak in all the beauty. That means major demand for boats, especially during the peak summer months. It's quite lovely to explore on land, too. True to tradition in the Netherlands, Giethoorn has both cycling and strolling paths, including a 9.5-mile walking route that runs through the village and countryside. Many visitors choose a canoe excursion to see the lakes, ponds, reed beds, and peatlands in the neighboring Weerribbenveen National Park. There's also an idyllic hike called the Silent Kirche Vida route, though the majority of travelers opt to visit Giethoorn as a day trip from Amsterdam. It's possible, and quite pleasant, to spend the night. Some actually prefer this because it gives them a chance to not only wander around before the day trippers roll into town, but also savor a few moments of quiet after most have left for the evening. In Giethoorn, 39 houses are national, 21 are municipal monuments, and therefore protected by the state. Among them are several churches, farms, country houses, a school, mills, pumping stations. In addition, There are several museums on the territory of the settlement. The most interesting of them is the Museum Boerderij te Oldemat Oes Farm Museum of Folklife, which is located on Binnenpad 52. Here, you can personally see how the locals lived several centuries ago, visit all the rooms and cellars, learn how peat was mined and caught fish, housekeeping, hear about different crafts. It will be interesting to look at the place for washing and drying clothes, a windmill for pumping water. There is also a small cinema here, where old footage from the life story of Giethoorn is shown. Another museum, the Old Earth, de Oude Aarde, at Binnenpad 43, has an exhibition of precious and semi-precious stones and minerals. In order for the visitor to see their beauty and radiance, the lights around the exhibits periodically go out. Various fossils are also on display, including the ostrich egg, the world's largest fossil egg. On the territory of the museum, there is a terrarium where you can admire turtles and crocodiles. The settlement has managed to maintain its authenticity. Little has changed here over the past 2 centuries. There are still many one-story houses covered with thatched roof. Only the very wealthy could afford roofing tiles, while reed was grown everywhere. Times are different now, and therefore houses with thatched roofs are much more expensive than dwellings with tiles, since they are Dutch classics. Another feature of the settlement is the huge number of goat horns, which are a reminder of what the village was named after. They can be seen on the walls of houses, on the fence, on the roof. Due to the fact that nature has been so well preserved over the years, the entire village looks like a giant park, or more precisely, a botanical garden. Apart from tourists, who are often amazed by the beauty of the place, the only noise is caused by birds and plants swinging as the wind blows.